ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं भरते कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थविद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
नत्वा श्रीभारती तीर्थविद्यारण्यमुनीश्वरो
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
अधीमहे पञ्चदशीं कैवल्यपदसिद्धये।
द्वैतविवेकप्रकरणं 53 श्लोकः। जीवन्मुक्तिरियं मा भूञ्जन्मा भावे त्वहं कृती।
जीवन्मुक्तिरियं
मा
भावे
भावे त्वहं
त्वहं
कृते।
तर्हि जन्मापि तेस्त्वेव स्वर्गमात्रात् कृती भवान्।
तर्हि जन्मापि तेस्त्वेव स्वर्गमात्रात् कृती भवान्।
क्षयातिशयदोषेण स्वर्गो हेयो यदा तदा।
क्षयातिशयदोषेण स्वर्गो हेयो यदा तदा।
स्वयं दोषतमात्मायं कामादिखिन्नु खिन्न हीयते।
स्वयं दोषतमात्मायं
कामादिः किन्न
कामादिक्यते।
हीयते।
तत्त्वं बुद्ध्वापि कामादीन् निःशेषं न जहासि चेत्
तत्त्वं
तत्त्वं
बुद्ध्वापि
बुद्ध्वापि
कामादीन्
कामादीन्
निःशेषं न
निःशेषं न
जहासि
जहासि
चेत्
चेत्
यथेष्टाचरणं ते स्यात् कर्मशास्त्रातिलङ्घिनः
यथेष्टाचरणं
यथेष्टाचरणं
ते
ते
स्यात्
स्यात्
कर्मशास्त्रातिलङ्घिनः
कर्मशास्त्रातिलङ्घिनः
बुद्धाद्वैतस्वतत्त्वस्य यथेष्टाचरणं यदि
बुद्धाद्वैतस्वतत्त्वस्य
बुद्धाद्वैतस्वतत्त्वस्य
यथेष्टाचरणं
यथेष्टाचरणं
यदि
यदि
शुनां तत्त्वदृशां चैव को भेदो शुचिभक्षणे
शृणां तत्त्वदृशां
तत्त्वदृशां
चैव
चैव
को
को भेदो
भेदो
शुचिभक्षणे
शुचिभक्षणे
तत्त्वं बुद्ध्वा अपि यदि कामादिदोषान् कामादयः सदोषाः अतः तान् कामादीन् दोषान् सर्वं विशेषं यदि न जहाति यदि न जहाति यथा इष्टाचरणं स्वेच्छया यदि कर्म करोति सः कर्मशास्त्रम् अतिलङ्घते कर्मशास्त्रलङ्घी सः कर्मशास्त्रलङ्घी भवति तत्त्वं ज्ञात्वा तत्त्वं ज्ञात्वा यदि साधकः मुमुक्षुः स्वेच्छया कर्म करोति शास्त्र शास्त्रैः विहित शास्त्रैः शास्त्रैः बोधित विदित शास्त्रैः निषिद्ध कर्म यदि करोति सः कर्मशास्त्रं धर्मशास्त्रम् अतिलङ्घते शास्त्रस्य विधिनिषेधीनाम् अतिलङ्घनं करोति शास्त्रैः यत् उच्यते तत् करणीयं यत् कर्म यः आचारः उच्यते तत्प्रकारं सः आचरणीयं तत्प्रकारं तस्य जीवन तस्य स्वस्य जीवने तेषाम् आचरणं करणीयम् आचाराणां पालनं करणीयं यदि न करोति आत्मतत्त्वं बुद्ध्वा यथेष्टाचरणं करोति तर्हि सः यथा अशुचीन् पदार्थान् शुनकः खादति तद्वत् सः अपि इत्युक्ते सः शुनकतुल्यः भवति शुनां तत्त्वदृशां शुनां तत्त्वदृशां मध्ये कः भेदः अस्ति कोऽपि भेदः नास्ति यथा शुनकः यथेच्छम् अशुचीन् पदार्थान् खादति तद्वत् एषः अपि कः बुद्धाद्वैतस्तत्त्वः बुद्धाद्वैततत्त्वः सः अपि कर्म करोति यथेष्टाचरणं कर्म कुर्यात् तर्हि सः शुनकतुल्यः भवति इत्युक्ते ज्ञानेन तस्य किं प्रयोजनं किमपि न प्रयोजनम् अतः शास्त्रानुसार शास्त्रानुसारं विहित विहितं कर्म करणीयं निषिद्धं कर्म त्यक्तव्यं हेयं यत् किम् उपादेयं किं हेयमिति ज्ञात्वा तस्य आचरणं भवति चेत् तथा एव सः वास्तविकतया तत्प्रदृक् भवति, नो चेत् शुनकतुल्यः भवति। को भेदः अशुचि भक्षणे शुनां तत्त्वदृशां तत्त्वदृक् तत्त्वविवेकी शुनां शुनकानां तथा तत्त्वदृशां विवेकतां तयोः कः भेदः? कोऽपि भेदः नास्ति। शुचिभक्षणे यथा शुनकाः भक्षति भक्षयति किं भक्षयति अशुचीन् पदार्थान् यथे यथा यथेच्छम् इच्छानुसारेण भक्षयति तद्वत् यदि तत्त्वविवेकिनः अपि आचरणं भवति तर्हि ज्ञानेन तत्त्वज्ञानेन किमपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति, तत् निरर्थकं भवति। अतः आचारः आचारः इत्युक्ते कामादीन् निःशेषं त्यक्त्वा शास्त्रानुसारेण धर्मशास्त्रानुसारेण कर्मशास्त्रानुसारेण कर्मशास्त्रस्य शास्त्राणाम् अतिलङ्घनं न कृत्वा विधि प्रतिषेधानुसारं सः स्वस्य जीवने तेषाम् आचरणम् अवश्यं करणीयं। नो चेत् शुनकवत् भवति। आत्मज्ञानेन किमपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति तस्यापि नास्ति। तेन किं भवति? तेन स्वस्यपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति। तेन किं भवति? वेदान्तज्ञानेन किमपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति इति लोके एतावत् चिन्तनमपि भवति। पूर्वं वेदांत ज्ञान प्राप्ति पूर्वं वेदांत ज्ञानात् पूर्वं यथा सः अभवत् तथा एव वेदांत ज्ञानात् परम् इति लोके तस्य निन्दा अपि भवति। लोकाः निन्दनमपि कुर्वन्ति। तद् आचार्यः अग्रिमश्लोके वदति। And yet the point to be noted, Tattvam Buddhva, I said Tattvam Buddhva is a Jnana Nishtha, not Jnana Nishtha, Jnanam to Sapratibadda Jnanam. Having followed the preparatory disciplines like Karma Yoga and Upasana, having gained Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Naischalya, the one who has taken up the Jnana Yoga sadhana, that is in the form of Shastra Adhyayanam, Shravanam, Mananam, and Niridhyasanam, Tena Jnanam Bhavati Jnanam. That Jnanam is Sapratibandha Jnanam. Because there are Pratibandhas. Pratibandha in the form of Kama, Krodha, etc. They may be lingering, not completely or not relatively neutralized, not relatively mastered. That is one thing. And after Shravanam, then there is Samshaya, There is vagueness with regard to the knowledge. Therefore, mananam is avashyakam after shamanam. Then for removing the viparita bhavana and nidyasu, therefore he is sadhaka. He is a jignasu. So he is working for jnana. Therefore, the jnanam is sapratibadda jnanam. It is not jnana nishta avastha. So tattvam buddha, even at this stage, before becoming a Nani, because he has entered into the study of Shastram, certain refinement is expected in the person. It's achara before Vedanta and after Vedanta. It will not be safe. Then what is the purpose of studying Vedanta? The question will come from all quarters, even from inside the family and even from the outside the family. So studying Vedanta must have refined this person, at least if not given jnanam at this stage, is working for it, but at least in terms of cultivating the values, amanitvam, madambitvam, agimsa, kshanti, relatively, if not total. Total is only after nishta in that jnanam. That is the prajna. The one who has got nishta is the prajna lakshanam, as Bhagavan said in the Gita. Therefore, tattvam buddha, as a Vedantin, because he studies Vedanta, therefore Vedantin. Jnanam is sapratibadda jnanam. Even though the person has not gained the nishta, but has entered into the study of Shastram, therefore certain refinements in his behavior activities are expected. Before Vedanta and after Vedanta, there must be difference. That's why the comparison, ko vedaha ashuchi, ko vedaha ashuchi bhakshane. So for vedaha, there must be vedaha, there must be difference. There must not be kamanucharaha. There must not be kamanucharaha. So therefore, kamabhaksha, kamavada, kamacharaha, all these which he was before, now he is not. He is refined person. So for kamadin, nishesham tyaktva, committed to jnanam, therefore, sarvam tyaktva, having given up, having suspended, having given up, deliberately given up, not mastered it. Therefore, tasya acharanam shastranusaram bhavitavyam iti. No chet, kim bhavati. Even after studying Vedanta, if the person remains as he was before, yateshta charanam karoti, yateshta charanam jivati, that's a jivanam. Tarki kim bhavati, that is said in the next shloka. The person has not corrected himself, rectified himself, refined himself, then previous shloka he said that not be difference between him and the dog. Now he says in this shloka number 56. Bodhat pura mano dosha matrat krishnasya thadhuna.
बोधात्
पुराणो
मनोदोष मात्रात्
दोषमात्रा
क्लिश्नास्यथाधुना
कृष्णास्याधुना
अशेषलोकनिन्दाच्छेत् यहोते बोधवैभवम्.
अशेषलोकनिन्दा चेद्यहो
शेषलोकनिन्दाचेति होते
बोधवैभवम्
बोधवैभवम्
बोधात् ऊर्ध्वम् बोधात् ऊर्ध्वम् यथेष्टाचरणं करोति तर्हि शुनकवत् भवति इति उक्तं पूर्वश्लोके। अत्र बोधात् पुरा ब्रह्म ज्ञानात् पुरा प्राक् बिफोर ब्रह्म ज्ञानात् प्राक् ब्रह्म ज्ञानात् पश्चात्, before and after, the difference must be there. Yateshtacharanam bodhat pura, bodhat paschat yateshtacharanam kuryat targi shunakavat. It means kamadinam kamadayah tyaktavyaha bodhat paschat. Now, bodhat pura kaha doshaha manodoshaha. That is the jiva srishta dvaitam. तीव्रं मंदं च इति द्विधा भवति। जीव सृष्ट अशास्त्रीय द्वैतम। मनोदोष मात्रात्, प्रीवियसली मनोदोष बोधात् पुरा मनोदोष मात्रात्, मनोदोषः एव मनोदोष मात्रात् मयूरविंशकादि, मनसः दोषः मनोदोषः, मनोदोषः एव मनोदोष मात्रं मयूरविंशकादि। बोधात् पुरा मनोदोषः एव अस्ति। बोधात् पूर्वं, तत्त्वज्ञानस्य पूर्वं कामादयः दोषाः आसन्। बोधात् परं, ओके, बोधात् पूर्वम् आसन्, they were there. तेन किं क्लिष्णासि यथाधुना, क्लिष्णासि अथ अधुना। क्लिष्णासि is क्रियापदं, क्लिष्णासि this ninth conjugation, क्लिष्णाति क्लिष्णीतः क्लिष्णन्ति। क्लिष्णासि is क्लेशम् अनुभवसि। कदा? बोधात् पुरा। बोधात् पूर्वं, तत्त्वज्ञानात् पूर्वं कामादय दोषाः आसन्। तेन किं भवति? क्लिष्णासि त्वं क्लेशम् अनुभवसि अथवा अनुभूतवान्। We experienced क्लेशः पूर्वं। So तेन कामादयः दोषाः, तैः तस्य यथेष्टाचरणं दृष्ट्वा लोके जनाः चिन्तयन्ति सः अशास्त्रीयं करोति। भवतु, that is बोधात् पुरा, before jnanam, before brahma jnanam, he experiences difficulty, he experiences klesha is difficulty. That is before. And people know he is adharmika, ashastriyam karma karoti. So he is not exposed to Shastra, he is not a refined person, he is prakritaha. That is a different case totally. Now, hatha aduna, idanim now. Previously it was only manodosha. Manodosha is everyone has, therefore all will be living the same a similar life. Therefore, there will not be any comparison or there will not be any differences, because everyone has This dosha, kamadaya doshaha, therefore, all will be leading the Shastriya life. Therefore, there cannot be any comparison or there cannot be any ninda. Only manodosha, kamadaya doshaha, that alone were there. But now, aduna, because the person has come to Shastram, now people will look up to them. If the person still remains the same, iteshta charanam kurihu, tarhi ashesha loka ninda, ashesha loka ninda cha. Previously it was only manodosha. Now ashesha loka ninda is samasta jananam lokanam ninda api bhavati. People will criticize. Previously, because of kamadi dosha, there were some kleshas, difficulties. Now added to that, kleshasya adikya, adikyam bhavati. How this ashesha loka nindaya, this also gets added up. The people will criticize what is the purpose of studying Vedanta. You are the same person as you were before. Aho, te bodha vaibhavam. What a glory, bodha vaibhavam. Vaibhavam is glory. How glorious is your knowledge. Te tava bodha vaibhavam, bodhasya vaibhavam, bodha vaibhavam. How glorious is your Vedantic knowledge. This is, it's not bodha, it's not praising. It is ninda. After the study of Vedanta, the lifestyle of a person becomes, Swamiji says, it becomes a publicity. His lifestyle becomes without any invitation. His lifestyle becomes public. So people will note, people will observe the person. If the person behaves as before, yateshta charanam, then people will think the study of Vedanta is useless. Not only that, people will criticize. Then he becomes a bad publicity for Vedanta. Lokaninda. Bodhatpura manodosha matrat. Krishna tvam anubhutavan. Ata idanim. Bodhat paschat. Ashesha loka ninda cha anubhavati. Therefore, before it was just manodosha. Of course, that manodosha tena klesham anubhutavan purvam tvam. Idanim. Loka ashesha loka ninda. Ashesha is everyone. Sarva loka ninda. Ashesha means total samasta loka jananam ninda cha added to that, also added to it. Entire society will talk about you. So therefore klesha dikyam manodosha is not handled properly. That also is there. In added to that, loka ninda also. Therefore, te aho te bodha vaibhavam, glory to your knowledge. Tava bodha vaibhavam, iti Acharya criticizes. Means you cannot conduct your life as it was before. So therefore, yateshta charanam anishtam janayati. Yateshta charane sati kleshaha adikaha bhavati. Ataha kamadayaha manodoshaha tyaktavyaha eva. No chet janaha ashesha janaha samasta janaha nindanam kurvanti. Therefore, if you don't give up, then what is the use of your knowledge? Aho, bodha vaibhavam. It means Bodha Vaibhava means Bodha, the knowledge has not created any change in the person. So it's a Ninda. Ahote Bodha Vaibhavam is not praising the person. Ahote Bodha Vaibhavam, what greatness is your knowledge? Aho is the particle. Aho, marvelous. So added to the defects of your mind, now there is criticism of the people also. People curse, criticize. Therefore, Yateshta Charanam is should be given up. Yateshta Charanam is, as Swami Chinmanaji says, the, the it is previously it was animal man, then becomes man, then only God man. And after studying Vedanta, if the person continues to be an animal man, then what Vedanta has added? So that is, it should have, at least must have made him a man, must be sensitive. It must have created some impact in the person. And that can be seen in this lifestyle. Therefore, Kamadayaha doshaha tyaktavyaha iti. You cannot entertain the Kamadi dosha. It should be deliberately should be given up. After Nishta, it just falls apart. All these, even if you cannot do it, because your action spontaneously will be dharmika. In fact, for a tattva jnani, for a sataprajna, ko vidhi, ko nishedaha, there is no vidhi, there is no nisheda. He goes beyond that. All his actions spontaneously will be dharmika. Because he was a dharmika before, as a sadhaka, he took up the sadhanas and practiced dharma. Therefore, that's how we get the chitta shuddhi, etc. Now it becomes natural and spontaneous. You cannot harm people. Ahimsa, previously it was as sadhana. Now the person becomes ahimsakaha. We cannot become imsakaha. Sarvam kalidam brahma tasya sarvatra brahma darshanam asti. How can we do himsa? That is spontaneous. For till the person gains that nishta, one has to follow the injunctions of the Shastra. The Vidhi Nisheda of Shastra, the recommendations of the Shastra, the injunctions of the Shastra, one must follow. What the Shastra says, Kamadayaha, Tektavyaha, Heyaha, therefore should be given up. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi, Sampadaniya, that should earn, one should earn. Tikakara says, Etavata Kim Anishtamapa Ditam iti ashankya sopahasam uttaram aha. Sopahasam is upaha, that is hasa, upahasa. That is his answer. Upahasa is making fun, jokingly, joke. Etavata kim anishtam apaditam iti ashankya. Anishtam, that which is undesired. Apaditam, which happens. So, etavata. When undesired things happen, in this such etavata, if iti, that is there is no janma, there is no janma, or there is no karma for a jivan mukta. A jivan mukta, if he acts as he desires, there will not be dosha. But this person is not a jivan mukta. He is working for jnana. So therefore, if any undesired things happen, then what happens? Sopahasam uttaramaha. If a person who is not yet gained nishta in that jnanam, if he behaves, that acharya here with jokingly, he says, Sopahasam anishtam aparitam iti. Kim anishtam aparitam? What undesired thing will happen to such a person if he violates Dharma Shastra, Karma Shastra? That acharya, Sopahasam, Upahasena Saha, Uttaram Aha answers with fun. Bodhaditi. Tattva Jnanodayat pra Kama Krodadi Chitta Doshaihi Tava Kleshaha Abhut. Idanim tu Sarvaloka Nindamapi Saha Sahasva iti Klesha Dvaigunyamiti Bhavaha. Bodhat Tattva Bodhat Tattva Jnanodayat Prak. Before the Jnanasya Udayaha, Jnanodayaha, Jnanodayat Prak Pura. Before the arise of this knowledge. Kama Krodadi Chitta Doshehi. The defects like Kama, Krodha, etc. of the Chitta of the mind. Tava Kleshaha, Dukkhaha, pain, Dukkam Abhut. Where there. Doshehi, Dukkhaha, Kleshaha Abhut. Lunglakara Abhut. Idanim is Bodhat Paschat. Bodhat Paschat. Bodha is Tat Sapradibandha Jnanat. Paschat. Lokanindamapi Sahasva. You have to tolerate, you have to Sahasvat. You have to endure the curse, the criticism of the people also. If you violate Dharma Shastra, if you violate Karma Shastra, iti Klesha Dvaigunyam iti bhavaha. Iti Klesha Dvaigunyam iti bhavaha. That is Klesha difficulty. It has become now many multiplied. Previously only Manodosha, only Ashastriya Jiva Srishta Dvaitam. That is the Kleshaha. Now added to that Lokaninda also. That also you have to tolerate, you have to endure. So the trouble has become, trouble has increased, multiplied. Klesha Dvaigunyam iti bhavaha. So therefore, a Vedanta study must make oneself responsible, sensible. There must be a visible change in the behavior of the person. Cannot be the same person. Then the Vedanta has not penetrated the person. The knowledge is only academic. It has not changed the person even a bit. Aho te bodha vaibhavam iti. The next shloka. Here the Acharya uses again a strong word. Previously he said he compared with a dog. Now he compares with a pig. Vidvarahaditulyatvam akankshis vidbhavan.
विद्वराहादितुल्यत्वम् आकाङ्क्षीस्तत्त्वविद्भवान्
Sarvadhi doshasantyaha lokaif pujyasvadevavat.
सर्वधी दोषसत्याः लोकैः पूज्यस्वदेववत्
Vidvarahaditulyatvam. Ma kankshi is mangi lung. Mangi lung, ma kankshi. Akanksha, ma karshihi, akashihi, ma karshihi, you can say, mangilung, attagamagon. Tattavit bhavan, bhavan is you, tvam. Sarvadi dosha santyagat. Tyagat lokaihi torli sandhi pujyasva devavat. So jnani katham bhavet iti pruchet. Jnani उत्कृष्टः भवति यदि यथेष्टम् आचरणं करोति तर्हि तर्हि तं लोकाः जनाः निन्दन्ति. Not only that, वराहादि वराहादि तुल्यत्वं वराह वराहादि नीच प्राणि तुल्यत्वम् अपि प्राप्नोति सः. वराहादि तुल्यत्वं विच्च वराहश्च वराहौ वराहः आदिः यस्य सः वराहादिः वराहादीनां तुल्यं विद्वरा तुल्यः विद्वराहादि तुल्यः तस्य भावः विद्वराहादि तुल्यत्वम्. The status of being same, similar, same, tulyah, samanah, like Vitvarahadi, pig, so pig, etc. So therefore, Vitvarahadi tulyatvam prapnoti varahadinam nicha praninam tulyatvam prapnoti. तुल्यत्वम् अतः मा कांक्षीः आकांक्षां मा काशीः. Therefore, kangsha icha, meaning therefore yateshta charanam. Therefore yateshta charanam tyaktavyam. You cannot conduct yourself for ma kangshihi. Don't aspire. Don't aspire for what? Don't aspire for the life of a pig. The pig, which has the habit of eating, which eats impure things and which wallows in dirt. Therefore, don't aspire for that. So, therefore, you, the Tattvavit, Bhavan Tattvavit, you have got knowledge. Tattvavit means not jnana avastha, not jnana nishta. You work for jnana nishta. Because you are working for jnana nishta, because you are working for gaining apratibadda jnanam, therefore kamadin nishesha kamadeha tyaktavyaha. So kamadeha, you have to give up completely. No chet, vitparahari tulyatvam prapnoti. Therefore, you don't aspire for the such things like the life of a pig. Pig alone, pig doesn't have buddhi. It's an animal. It's a nicha prani. It's a prani, nicha prani. We give comparison. That doesn't know that I am in the dirt. I'm eating impure things. Shuchi, like Shunaka also. It does. But you are not. You are studying Vedanta, you have studied Vedanta, you are working for Jnana Nishta, therefore your behavior should be different from that of the other people, the society. So therefore, don't aspire for the life of the Nicha Prani. Don't act like that. Vit Varahadi Tulyatvam Ma Kangshihi. Bhavan, you Tattvavit, you being a Tattvavit, therefore don't aspire for. Don't long for the life of a pig because you are already there before. You have refined yourself and become really a man now. Therefore, sarvadi dosha tyagat, sarvadi dosha, di dosha, buddhi dosha, sarvesham dihi, sarvadihi. Dihi is buddhi. So, dhyam doshaha, didoshaha. Sarva dhyam doshaha, didoshaha. And doshanam tyagaha. Doshanam tyaga tasma. Doshat santyaga. Samyak tyagaha. Sarvadi dosha santyaga. Manodosha. Manodosha santyaga. Giving up the manodosha. Manodosha is kamadeyaha doshaha. Therefore, santyaga, giving up them. Therefore, give up all. Therefore, you, sarvadi dosha santyaha, by giving up the doshas of the mind, that is kamadeha doshaha, which is there lingering in your mind, giving up that, you become an object of reverence. May you gain the respect among the people by giving up all the dosha santyaha, sarva santyahat nisheshataha, sarva mana dosha santyahat, devavat pujyasva. You become worshipful. You become pujargaha, puja yogyaha. When a person deserves worship, when a person deserves worship, that becomes the, the publicity of the Shastra. Shastra has refined that person. That is how Shastra is publicized. There is no promotion or publicity of Shastra. Shastra doesn't promote itself by publicizing it. Nobody does that also. What becomes a publicity, advertisement for Shastra? The person becomes the best advertisement for the Shastra. And the person becomes pujargaha, worshipful. Then he deserved that. He became pujargaha. The cause is Shastra. Therefore, Shastra is publicized. Shastra is become famous through that person who has gained knowledge through Shastram and refined his life, made his life according to the Shastram. Therefore, he becomes worshipful. Because he is worshipful, Shastra also now gains that status. Gains the status of that Shastram also becomes status of worshipful, followable. Therefore, drop all the manodoshas. Lifestyle is more important. Achara is more important. In fact, achara is more important than prachara. As a sadhaka, it was achara. As a sadhaka, then for Vedanta Shravanam, it is vichara. Then what about achara? Achara continues all the way. There is no suspension of achara. Before achara, and then Vedanta vichara, achara continues, and then prachara. Prachara also is optional. Teaching is optional. One can teach remaining silent. Non-verbal communication. Teaching is done through silence. Like Chinmudra, etc. Chinmudra. Or what Ramana Maharshi taught. In fact, he didn't teach anyone. People consider him to be the Manasa Guru, personal Guru. But he didn't teach anything. His lifestyle, his silence becomes the teaching. The best way to teach is just the silence. And the silence is inner silence. One has to discover that. Of course, the beginning silence, one cannot teach, but after that, the silence. So non-verbal communication. Teaching just its presence itself is a teaching. Of course, because it is the maunam, that's a mauna vyakya. So, but you have to understand, but by maunam, nothing can be communicated. Shastram is a pramanam, it should be taught. But after studying Shastra, certain understanding has come and further learning has to happen, then silence. Dakshinamurti, Mauna Vyakya Prakatita, Parabrahma Tattvam Vivanam. That is why silence, he says. The Chinmudra, the rishis who are sitting under the feet of Dakshinamurti, they can understand what Chinmudra is. That is the teaching. Teaching already has been done. A lot of Shastras has been taught, studied, all the Prasthanatraya. But still that there is lingering of doubts and vagueness of the mind and Viparita Bhavana. Then teaching is just a Chinmudra. Shows Tat Tvam Asi. You give up all these three guna. You go beyond the three guna, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and bending the thumb and the index finger, showing the round. That is Purnam. You are that. That is the best way to communicate for an informed person. You have to say that word. Otherwise, through Maunam alone, one can be knowledge. It will come. It is not. So therefore, you Devavat, Pujyasva. You become adorable. You become worshipful. Pujayasva. Pujitam Yogyaha Bhava. Pujyasva. Pujargaha Bhava. Devavat Pujyatvam Prapnoti. Sarvadi Dosha Santyagat. Lokehi. By whom? Lokehi Pujyasva. Pujyasva Bhava. Lokehi Bhavan Pujyasva Bhava. Pujargaha. Devavat. Like a God. Like a Devavat. So you will be revered like a God. Now the Tika. Tarki kim kartavyam itiyaha. Then what should be done? That is said here. Vitvaraha iti. Sarvotkarsha hetu jnanavan. Sarva utkarsha hetu jnanavan. Tvam. You have got the jnana which is utkarsha hetu jnanavan. Hetu, the cause for gaining utkarsha is superior. Sarvotkarsha. Sarvesham utkarshaha. Greater knowledge, greater utkarshaha, superior. So the knowledge which is the cause for being superior, greater, the knowledge, you have got that. You are jnanavan. You have got that. Tvam. Kamadi tyaga ashaktatvena sarva kamadi tyaga ashaktatvena sarva adhama sarvadama vitvarahadi samyam ma kangshihi kintu kamadi lakshana sakala manodosha hanena sarvajanehi devattu pujyasva pujyaha bhaved ityartha. Kamadi tyaga ashaktatvena not able to give up. Tyaga, giving up. Because of not being able to give up kamadi. Sarva adhama. Adhama is inferior, lower. Inferior of all. Sarva adhama vitvarahadi samyam. Because of not being able to give up the kama, etc., you don't attain the status of the similarity, samyam, samanam, of vitvarahadi, sarva adhama, the nature. Vitvarahadi, samyatvam, ma kangshihi, don't desire that. Kintu, but kamari lakshana, sakala manodosha, hanena, ha, tyage, oha, tyage, by giving up all the kama, the lakshana, kama the lakshana, because it is the manodosha, defects of the mind. Therefore, sakala manodosha, which is in the form of the kama, etc. Therefore, hanena, by giving up them completely, all the defects, sarvajanaihi, by all the people, devavattu pujyasva bhava, yogya, pujyaha bhava, worshipful. May you become a worshipful, like the deity, like a Bhagavan, like a deva by all the people, bhavet iti ityartaha. Pujargaha bhava, pujya, puja yogyaha bhava, pujyasva, sarva lokaihi, janaihi, no chet lokanindam prapnoti. In addition to manodosha, so therefore you cannot be the same person after Vedanta. Cannot be the same person after the study of some of the Upanishads and Prasthanatrayam, some of the Upanishads and Gita, and then with all the Prakana Grantha. If your life should have undergone some change, you would have deliberately must have brought about some change in the lifestyle, the thinking, which starts from the thinking onwards. So it is not the same thinking. Means Shravanam has not happened. It has just slipped the years. It has just cut the years and gone in other direction. Now sloka number 58. काम्यादिदोषदृष्ट्याद्याः कामादित्याह एतवः
काम्यादिदोषदृष्ट्या
कामादित्यागहेतवः
त्यागहेतवः
प्रसिद्ध प्रसिद्धो not प्रसिद्धो प्रसिद्धा प्रसिद्धा मोक्षशास्त्रेषु तानन्विष्य सुखी भव
प्रसिद्धा
प्रसिद्धा
मोक्षशास्त्रेषु
मोक्षशास्त्रेषु
तानन्विष्य
तान्विष्य
सुखी
सुखी
भव।
सुखी भव.
It is prasiddhaha. Why prasiddhaha? Because all are in Bhagavachanam. Kamyadi dosha drishtyaadhyaha Bhagavachanam. Kamadityaha etavaha etuhu etavaha Bhagavachanam. And it cannot be prasiddho. Prasiddho means sandhi prasiddhaha. It cannot be in Ekavachanam. All these are Bhagavachanam. Must be prasiddhaha. Prasiddhaha, prasiddho, prasiddhaha. So there cannot be utvam. It's a mistake. Moksha Shastreshu Prasiddaha. What Kamyadi dosha drishtyaadhyaha kamadityaha hetavaha prasiddaha moksha shastreshu. Moksha shastreshu, moksha pratipadaka shastreshu, granteshu prasiddaha iti. What prasiddha, ke prasiddaha iti prichet. Kamyadi dosha drishtyaadhyaha kamadityaha hetavaha prasiddaha. Ataha tan anvishya. Sukhi bhava, sastaha bhava. What does it mean here? Sukhi bhava, may you be happy. Happiness is only through moksha. So may you enjoy the moksha palam, enjoy the sukham of moksha. But for that you have to do the anveshanam, tan anvishya. Anvishya. Anvishya is levanta, tan anvishya, anveshanam krutva. Anupurvaka ishdatu. Ishdatu, fourth conjugation. Ishu ichaya, not sixth conjugation. Sixth conjugation, ichyati ichataha. Here ishyati ishyataha ishyanti. Ichaya. Then tva pratyaya, that becomes lep. So anvishya, anveshanam krutva, anvishya. But where to do the anveshanam of the means for gaining the sukham which is obtained through moksha, searching for the means to happy. What is the means? That is kamadityaha etavaha. Kama is the problem. Shaknoti hevayas sodum praksharira vimokshanat. Kama krodhodbhavam vegam sayukta sasuki naraha. In Gita, Bhagavan says, the one who is able to endure given up the force of karma and krodha, that person is yuktaha saha sukhi loke. Sukhi bhava, here also sukhi bhava. Sasuki naraha, sasuki bhava. So therefore, sukhi bhava, by giving up the kama. They are the dosha. Therefore, kamadinam tyagaha. the kamaha adihi yesham te kamadayah. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all this adipadat. Kamadayah. Other defects also can be added. Kamadayah. Kamadinam tyagaha, kamadityaha. Kamadityahasya yetuhu etavaha bhuvacham kamadi tyaha etavaha shashti tat purusha samasa. So, Vishaya kamaha janyate. Katam janyate Vishaye. Vishayam drishtva. Vishayan drishtva. Vishayeshu. Vishayeshu. This drishti, the saundarya drishti. Vishayeshu saundarya drishti eva kama utpatti karanam. Natu dosha drishti. You see, it's called shobhana dhyasa. You see the Vishaya to be as pleasing, not seeing the defects. So, Vishayan prapya aham sukhi bhavami iti chintva loke janaha Vishayan ichanti padarthan ichanti. But what happens? Vishayeshu Vishayan padarthan prapya dukkam eva bhavati. Dukkam eva anubhavanti lokaha janaha loke. Sukham bhavati iti chintayitva Vishayan prati pravartante kintu dukkam eva anubhavanti. Therefore, Vishayeshu dosha drishtihi. In fact, that is what Vairagya. Yada Vishayeshu dosha drishtihi jayate tada kamatyagaha bhavati. Kamana na utpadyate. Vishayaha sukham na janayanti. Kintu dukkam eva janayanti. Iti sukham ita prapyate vishayehi tat anitya sukham iti jnatva tasya Vishayanam tyagaha Vishayanam tyagam Vishayat tyagaha Vishayanam tyagaha avasyam kartavyah iti yani kimartam tade te Vishayaha eva dukkha karanam iti matva tat Vishayat tyagam prati pravartante. Therefore, Vishayas, they are the hetu. They are the hetu for the problem. Therefore, Vishaya tyaga etavaha. By giving up the desires, kamadi tyaga, by giving up the desires for the Vishayas, kama, and kama is abstracted, becomes krodha, etc. So, therefore, all the doshas, these are the hetu for anartha praptihi. For moksha praptihi, these have to be given up. That is a hetu. They are the hetu for what? Moksha praptihe etavaha bhavanti vishayat tyagaha, kamadi tyagaha. Tat prasiddhaha kutra moksha shastreshu. Therefore, moksha shastreshu prasiddhaha. Therefore, you have to find the means in the moksha shastra. In the shastram only you have to find. Kama vishayaha, they are kamyaha. Therefore, that should be given up. Kamadina. Kamyadi dosha drishtyaadyaha. Kamyadi dosha drishti. Kamyate iti kamaha. The desires. See the dosha in that. What is the dosha? It is subject to decay. It is anityam. It has got all the trivida doshaha, bandhakatvam. It binds a person. It is dukkha mishrutatvam. It is combined with the dukkha. Bandhakatvam binds you. So, dukkha mishrutatvam, anityatvam. So, atishayatvam. Therefore, satishayatvam. Therefore, these are the doshas of the Vishaya. Therefore, all the kama Vishayas, they have to be given up. When sukham is obtained, dukkam is unavoidable, inevitable. There is no sukha without dukkha. That is the dosha of the vishayas, objects. It cannot give nitya sukham. It is atishayatvena saha vartate. It is the happiness what you gain is it is fleeting. Therefore, tan doshan punaha darshanam drishtva. See the defects again and again. That is prasiddhaha in Moksha Shastra. Moksha Shastreshu prasiddhaha. Therefore, kamyadi dosha drishtyaadyaha. Drishti, adyaha, drishti, seeing and then giving up. All these are prasiddhaha where in Moksha Shastreshu. Therefore, कामादित्याह एतवः प्रसिद्धाः मोक्षशास्त्रेषु. How the kama arises, how it binds a person, what and the defects, all these are prasiddhaha by shastrihi pratipaditaha stritaya. Adhyatma vishaya pratipadikeshu shastreshu moksha shastreshu pratipaditaha in the Prakarana Grantha, etc. Even in Upanishads also, even when the Nachiketa was given all, he rejected because he know Shobhavo Martyasi Yadanta Kaitatu. We don't know what will be there tomorrow. Will be there or not. So he knows. Therefore, he gave up mercilessly. Therefore, Kamadi doshaha tyaktum shakyante tyaktva sukhi bhava. Tyaktva, search for the means of sukham in the Moksha Shastra. Therefore, doshan anvishya sukhi bhava tan anvishya. The means for becoming free you find out from the Moksha Shastra. Find out what is the cause which binds you, what is that which frees you, which liberates me. Find that and give up the pursuit of that which binds you. So therefore, anvishya, searching, having searched the upaya, the means for becoming free, to be free. Where do you search? Moksha Shastreshu. That is adhikaranam. That's where you can find. Anvishya Sukhi Bhava iti. Tika we will see. We will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.